Hi there, welcome to my latest 10-minute moan. And on this episode, the topic is Tommy Sheppard, the SNP MP at Westminster for Edinburgh West, and Tommy's desire to tell us all how to vote in the imminent general election for Westminster. Now, before I get on to what Tommy's actually telling us all to do, just to tell those of you who don't know who Tommy Sheppard is, just a little bit of background on Tommy Sheppard. Now, Tommy's as I say, the MP for Edinburgh West, I believe, and he also is the owner of the Stand Comedy Clubs. Now, these, if you cast your mind back, the Stand Comedy Clubs were one of only 3 businesses who received the maximum £250,000 funding from the Scottish Government during COVID. That Tommy Sheppard. Tommy Sheppard, who owns the Stand Comedy Club, the Stand Comedy Club actually banned and cancelled fellow SNP MP Joanna Cherry's show at the last Edinburgh Fringe. And the reason they banned it was Joanna's thoughts on gender recognition didn't quite toe the party line. And surprisingly, all the people that work in the Stand refused to work when Joanna Cherry's show was booked. So that's who Tommy Sheppard is, just to give you a wee bit of background onto him. And what he's telling you to do is fantastic when you bear in mind that he is currently an MP for the SNP, and the general election will happen probably September, October this year, with some people wanting it brought forward to May. So between 6 and 9 months away, we'll have a general election in Westminster. And he's telling you that general election is already a foregone conclusion and Labour's going to win. Now that does sit with the views of quite a lot of people who are politically minded and, opinions shared by lots of people, to be fair. However, what Tommy's telling you to do, if you're Scottish, is not vote for Labour. There's no point, because they're going to win anyway. Funny that, isn't it? Someone from the SNP who believes it's a foregone conclusion Labour are going to win the majority of seats at Westminster, telling you don't need to do it if you live in Scotland. Now, this is the same Tommy Sheppard that encouraged people that the coronation last year was a waste of money and you shouldn't bother going to it, watching it on TV. What you should do is join him and others, Republicans, who are anti-monarchists, who had a celebration at the same time in Calton Hill, from memory, in Edinburgh. That's Tommy Sheppard. Tommy Sheppard that doesn't like the monarchy, but when he's got sworn into his MP's wage, quite happy that there's a monarchy to swear to. This is Tommy that up until March 23, so last year, his expenses on top of his wages as an MP totalled £75,747.54. That's Tommy. Tommy that's a wee bit scared to lose his seat. Now, in his registered interests, which you have to do as an MP, they include gifts. He's got loads of things like complimentary tickets for theatre and things like that, all listed. But there was one that made me chortle somewhat, Tommy. And by the way, I don't want a gig at your comedy club. Even if I was a comedian and scratching for a living, I wouldn't take a gig at your comedy club, because you're not into free speech. When your comedy club cancel people who don't have the same political views as you. So, I'm not trying to be funny here for your sake. It's not an audition I'm having. I'm just getting you stinking because I don't like you or your type. And Tommy's gifts listed include £2,953.04 for a trip to Thailand between the 13th and the 18th of November 2022. Now, I must stress at this point, I don't know if there was any football matches on during that visit and if you had to stream anything on a government device, but we'll guess he didn't, right? And this £2,953.04 was just for travel to Thailand for the 5 days for a conference on family planning. Tommy spent £3,000 of your money going to a conference on family planning in Pattaya in Thailand. Isn't that incredible? No wonder you want nobody in Scotland to vote Labour, Tommy. What he's claiming is, if the majority of Scottish MPs at Westminster are voted in, that will give us a mandate for independence referendums. You catching this? So, see all these wee kiddie on referendums we have? Tommy's trying to have a one-man one for the Westminster vote. And he'll probably, that theory will probably get joined by the other 50 or 60 MPs that are in the SNP, apart from Mary Black, because she's flung the towel in. She doesn't want to be an MP anymore. You can bet your bottom dollar the rest of them will start trying to appeal to the Scottish electorate for the Westminster election on voting for them based on, we'll get you a referendum. So don't vote. Although you hate the Tories, because they tell us that, Tories are the worst thing in the world, and the Westminster government, Tory government is terrible, and we should get rid of them. So you would imagine if that's what you're wanting to do, the most logical thing for people who fill that criteria would be to vote Labour. Tommy's telling you not to do that. Because if you let them vote, they'll win the election anyway, he's telling you, without any seats in Scotland. It's already, 70 odd seats in Scotland, 60, high 60s. None of them need to go to Labour for Labour to win this election and get rid of these terrible Tories that we keep hearing about. He's telling you that if we can put forward the majority of Scottish MPs into Westminster at the coming up election, that will give the Scottish people a mandate for independence going forward. And if you don't vote for them, you're going to take independence off the table. That'll be the end of independence. So he's trying to put the fear of God into people that want independence by having to vote SNP, when they might be thinking, I don't quite like the Tories and I want to put my traditional head on, or even just vote tactically and vote for Labour so we can give Labour another seat in the Scottish constituencies to go down to Westminster, and hopefully Labour will get a victory. If that's the way you're thinking, Tommy's telling you not to do that. Don't do it, because we'll lose. That'll be the end of the road for independence. He also mentions that the reason for that is this corrupt, his words, corrupt first past the post system that we've got going to Westminster, which is opposite what we have in Holyrood, where we have some first past the post seats and some proportional representation seats. So he's now telling us, rock the world, that first past the post is corrupt. And he's telling everybody in Scotland who wants to vote for independence and not to come to the ones that don't want independence, because he's putting a wee caveat in for them as well to vote for him. You must put aside all our differences and unite. So the whole independence movement is to unite behind the SNP to get these seats in Westminster. And this is a kicker. Anyone who believes Scotland should be independent, keep it, or even that we should have a choice to do so, must vote SNP. So now what Tommy's telling you is, not only if you're a normal independence person that just wants independence, you're not allowed to consider anything else. You've not to consider any other candidate in your constituency. You've not to put a normal head on, which you should do really at any election, and consider who's best to look after me as a person that lives in this constituency at the Parliament in Westminster. That's what normal people do. Tommy's telling you no. If you want independence, so that's this amount of people, or even some people in the middle who maybe don't want independence or not sure but think Scotland should have a referendum, you've all to vote for SNP. Tommy has not made one mention of anything else he or any other SNP candidate will stand for other than independence. So this one-trick pony party are showing themselves up for what they really are. And I just don't believe the Scottish electorate will fall for their guff. They are clinging onto power. These are selfish, self-centred, self-indulgent people who are not actually the brightest people in Westminster, let's be honest with you. They're not very good. Remember that one, was it 2015, with the one with loads and loads of seats, and they were going down here to Lionel Roar. What have they actually achieved? All these SNP MPs that have down there and represented Scottish constituents for the last, almost 10 years. What have they actually achieved at Westminster? I'll tell you the only thing they actually achieved, bugger not Brexit, with the way they were voting or no voting at all for certain elements of that was trying to get passed. They wanted to slow that whole process down for their own self-indulgent needs. And now the reality's hitting them. And it was easy being an MP for the SNP 9 years ago, because they won nearly every seat in Scotland. But now they understand, they can feel the vibe, they know the political map out there is changing. And to be quite honest with you, use sort of crude language, they're shitting themselves. Because for nearly, 9 years now? I can't remember when he was voted in. He's probably been there about 9 years. Cushy number, 75 grand a year in expenses alone. That in itself would be a wage that some people would give their an appendage for. He gets that in expenses alone. So that means anything that he does, if I have a job with somebody, I normally would pay my own travel or my own petrol or these things. If I decided to work 400 miles away, I maybe wouldn't necessarily expect my employer to pay all my expenses. So he said £75,000 worth of expenses. The last audit was March 2023, out of his job, plus his wages. So his wages are all his. He doesn't need to even worry about jumping on a train to get to work. Cushy number. All these wee freebies, all these wee trips to Thailand and stuff. And who am I to suggest for a minute that his association with SNP helped his own business, the Stand Comedy Clubs, get a £250,000 bit of funding. 3 companies in the whole of Scotland got during COVID. That was the maximum they were allowed out of this fund. He got it. And he doesn't want to lose that. That's what these people are doing. That's all they're interested in. They're not interested in me, you, probably even independents or the SNP themselves, if I'm perfectly honest with you. All they're interested in is themselves. And having in mind if every single one of them lost their seat. So, as opposite from what Tommy's telling you, I would suggest that anybody who normally votes SNP purely based on they want independence, but at heart they've been a Tory or at heart they've been a Labour, I think they probably took, it's fair to suggest, they took a lot more votes off Labour over the last 10, 15 years than any other party. See, if you want a Labour government in Westminster, no, lots of people don't, but see if you're one that does, go and vote for Labour. If you think they can win your constituency, vote for them. And don't listen to Tommy, because Tommy's not like me. Tommy ain't making a wage out of Westminster, and that's what he's scared of actually losing. I'm just interested in making Scotland better, and believe me, take my word for it, Scotland will be a far better place with no Scottish MPs in Westminster and none in Holyrood, because they're terrible. They're not very good. So anyway, if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. But most of all, have a great day. Bye now.